If you're looking for something very unique and different to take the kids to, then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
That's right, Stevie. The Tulsa Air and Space Museum just wrapped up another phase of their MD-80 project by calling on VideoRevolution to install a state-of-the-art sound system right into the plane.
It sounds amazing too, Trish. It's all part of the continued progress of their newest exhibit, the Flight Experience, with a completion date expected to wrap up sometime in December.
Oh, until then, there are still tours and the MD-80's Learning Center to take part in.
Plus, be prepared to be blown away by the sound.
We reached out to a lot of different people and we're getting input about how do we do this, sound, video, what do we want as a finished product. I remember walking into a meeting and Jeff saying, VideoRevolution. I said, that's perfect.
I worked with a couple other local companies, but nobody really seemed to have the vision that we had. And when I reached out to Josh Onley at VideoRevolution, he immediately got excited.
A few of us came out to look at it and to meet with Lee and some of the other directors and Jeff and people from the Air and Space Museum. And so we got out here and we started talking about it, and I mean, an airplane is probably the most efficient use of space you can find in, for a vehicle or anything. Everything's used. So we were sitting there staring at it and just like, I know a company that makes these small aperture speakers where we hide so much of it inside the wall, and all we really need to do is port the bass out, port the mid-range out, and then have the tweeters as a directional piece. And so we figured, well, those old vent spaces, they've got new ventilation in the floors, so it was kind of a aha moment of, we can hide this and never know that we were here, and that was the idea. We didn't want to change the way that the plane felt or looked. We didn't want to take away from it with speaker grills or boxes sitting out. We wanted the sound to be a surprise.
I mean, I've known VideoRevolution for some time, and they've always been great to work with, but I felt really great and very comfortable. And what happened, and several people came out, sat down. I mean, very elaborate plans. I mean, they had to do diagrams, they had to figure out how they're going to get behind this and do that. The wiring, what kind of sophisticated, we have custom things that were built because it's never been. Anyway, we put ourselves totally in VideoRevolution's hands, and I'm anxious to hear the sound. I understand it's earth-shaking.
Yeah, it was a big undertaking. We had to have American Airlines come out and pull all these side window panels, all the seats out, and then Josh's crew came in and mounted all the speakers behind the existing grills, so no modifications were done to the aircraft interior. So you can't even see the speakers, but wow, you can hear them.
These speakers were specifically designed for the perfect depth, the right cabinet size, and understanding that an airplane is probably a horrible acoustic environment that changes based on how many people are in here. It's such a small space. If you think of percentage-wise, whenever you fill up an airplane, the percentage of the airspace that's taken up by people versus like let's say a room, you have so much more dead space in there. So the sound's going to change based on how many people fill it up. So we needed to have a company that had good speakers that could cover a wide dynamic range and that could be fine-tuned, and with a system in the background that we could adjust those parameters at the tap of a button. The subwoofer that we used is something that they use in residences all the time. If you don't want to see that big ugly box sitting on the floor, I mean, unless you're a college student, most people don't want those boxes sitting out anymore. So we hide these subs in ceilings and in floorboards and in closets, and we just put a vent grill up. Well, we had a perfect spot. We've got an entire belly of a plane that's not being used to store luggage anymore. So we put the sub down the floorboards. That part was easy. Pipe it up in, no problem at all.
One of the biggest parts of the production is the sound. You gotta have high quality sound, and you gotta have movement, because that's where the emotion comes from, right? And I believe with this video production that we're having put together and with the audio system that VideoRevolution has installed, we'll accomplish what we're trying to do.
We were really excited about doing this project. We've got a passion for technology, for electronics, communications, audio, video. I mean, that's all that life really is people communicating. So we like to do our end of it with the audio and put some passion into it as well. So.